Yeah, Brendel, Bearcat Journal here with now offensive coordinator Gino Guidugli. 3 days in, are you finding your stride as the OC yet? Still feeling it out?
Yeah, I think so. When you've been in a similar offense for this 6 years, I think our guys are comfortable with terminology. And, there's just some slight changes. Some of the scheme stuff, some more emphasis on things we didn't emphasize quite as much. So I'm happy so far through the 3 days. Obviously today being the first day with pads. Got to let the O-line bang around a little bit, so I'll be anxious to see what it looks like on tape.
When you look around and you start watching, a lot of weapons. Like it's pretty impressive what has been assembled. Are you looking at it like, all right, I got a lot of different chess pieces and guys that have different skill sets. So it doesn't really seem like you've got many guys that are like the same guy.
Right. And you look back last year's season, we lose a lot of production. Obviously, we lose a 4-year starter quarterback and first or second day draft pick into the boundary receiver and a kid that's going to get drafted at tailback. And, that's a lot of our production from last season. But when you come back and you're looking at offensive unit meetings and you look around and you still got Trey Tucker and you still got Tyler Scott, you got Ryan Montgomery and Ethan Wright and Charles McClellan and Josh and Lenny and a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, you feel good about it. And I think we got to do a good job of putting those guys in position to play to their strengths. And offensively, I think we're going to be just fine. We got all 5 bigs back up front, which is going to set the tone for everything else.
Do you feel like you're starting to see some depth emerge up front as well? I mean, I know it's
hard to tell without pads on, but you see some of these young guys develop. You see Cam Jones coming along, you see Mount Glenn coming along, Gavin Gerhardt's having to fill in for Renfro. So those guys are getting forced into the action, and you see improvement of them every day.
Quarterback, let's talk about it. What have you liked, and what have maybe you think like we're still not where we need to be yet?
I just love my room. Those guys are going to compete, but at the same time, they're friends. They're going to help each other, and at the end of the day, them battling for that position is going to make our team better. And they know every day they got to come out and put their best foot forward because they got somebody chomping at their heels. And been really impressed with both those guys so far. And Brady Lichtenberg's done a nice job too in the reps that he's getting. So just excited to see how this thing continues to play out through the spring, and excited for those two to continue to get better, Ben to continue to, relearn the offense, and Evan to continue to grow inside the offense.
How do you think mentally they've each handled it so far? It looks like they've competed well.
Yeah, I think pretty good. I mean, there's little things off the tape, but for the most part, I'm really happy. They drop back to pass, their eyes are in the right place, they're doing the right things with the protection. They're doing their best. Sometimes in a situation where two guys are competing, it's tough for someone to establish himself as a leader. They're both trying to do that. Obviously, the situation can be tough when there's not a guy or a guy that's been named, but they're doing their best to try to work within the situation that they're put in.
How are you handling reps? I know that it varies.
It's getting split, and we know going into the practice they know what they're going to get, and try.
So are you splitting them before practice, or are you just rotating them through practice?
They're designated before we go in, just so those guys know exactly where they're going to be, and we can kind of flow seamlessly. But it's going to be split half and half. They'll both get shots with the ones, both get shots with the twos, and we're evaluating it every day, tracking it every day, and like I said, excited to continue to see those guys grow.
How's it been being back with Coach Cummings, kind of a mentor to you?
Yeah, it's been good. When I first got into coaching in 2010, I was a GA for him. He was the offensive coordinator at Central Michigan, and always had a lot of respect for Mike and the way he handled his business, and I think he does a great job developing offensive linemen. He's got a history of it. If you don't know of it, look into it. He's coached some good ones and developed some good ones, and I think our guys are really responding to his coaching.
Tell me about Nate Letton. He's a new face.
Yeah, and did a great job for us the last 2 years as a GA. And Nate's football smart beyond his years, brings good energy to us. The players love him. Just really impressed me being on the staff with him the last 2 years, and we had a chance to potentially hire somebody for that position. Obviously, his history is in offensive line. I think it's great for his growth and development to branch out to tight ends, get a little bit more involved in the passing game, also be able to learn under Coach Cummings and keep an eye on the offensive line. Really excited to have Nate on our staff.
Speaking of tight end, I told Josh today, be careful. Shimon might, if you don't get back quick, Shimon might take your spot. He's had a heck of a start first 3 days.
Shimon's had a good 3 days, and Shimon brings a physicality to that position. and he's not scared to put his face on you. He's got some athleticism. Still growing, still learning, and Coach Letton will do a great job getting him coached up along with those other guys. He's got some great guys at the front of that room to lean on and to kind of show him the way.
All right, appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Man.